What's going on? How's everybody doing today? I am super excited to get with you guys today because I have a special guest on our first show, starting off the year. Something new, something brand new, starting something rebranded. You know,
I
we've
love
been
it.
going live. We've been going live for a long time, but now is the time that we're really trying to take it levels up, as you can see, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I want to introduce my guest to you. And my guest is an entrepreneur, has been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I've spent a lot of time. I've known her since high school. Um, what else do I know about you? Uh, there's a lot
That's
that I
funny.
know. I don't know how much I want to expose, but I know enough to
No, that's
know
okay.
that she's creditable. And I'm so excited that she's on today's segment. We're going to be talking about that we are Black history, and
That's
we're not going to leave
awesome.
nothing out. We're gonna try to dive as deep as we can without getting kicked out of here. And so yeah, so as you guys start seeing us on your side of the screen, go ahead and share as we get through these segments so that everybody in every single circle could see this, because it's going to be something you don't want to miss, especially towards the end. The end is probably going to be the best part. So um, yeah, so my beautiful guest here, what should we call you? Are we calling you Royalty, Mrs. Royalty Hair? Are we calling you Royalty Williams? Are we calling you? What are we calling you today?
Well, we can stick with Nikki. Most people know me by Nikki.
Nick.
So I feel like that's cool. Letitia's good too. You know, a lot of people know me by Letitia. So whatever floats your boat, just keep it respectful.
I actually didn't know it was Letitia until like probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Right. And
No,
that's a lot of people, believe it or not.
actually, when you changed it on Facebook, I've always known you as
Right.
Nikki. I've always known you as Nikki.
And yeah,
It's
everybody's known me as Nikki. Recently, I just decided, to pick up the government name and start going by Letitia more. I wasn't a big fan of it in high school and middle school, so I'm like, you know what? I'm a mom now. I'm an entrepreneur, business owner. Letitia just sounds more professional and more momish, I guess you would say.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
super excited to
indeed.
have you on, man. It's good to see you, chopping
Thank
it
you for
up.
having me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah.
It
We're
is
gonna have
my
fun.
first podcast ever in life, so it's nice to be on someone that I really, really know. So it makes
Sweet.
it so much more comfortable.
Hey, I appreciate
For
that
sure.
100%. Thank you. But
No
let's dive
problem.
in. Let's give the people what they want. Season one, episode one, where we are Black History. Thank you so much for everybody
Absolutely.
joining me on the Mogul podcast. And we're gonna get started on the first question. And the first question is, for those who don't know you, give us the short version on who you are. The reason why I'm asking this question is because a lot of people do know that you do hair. Most people do, but there's a lot of
Right.
other things that you do. There's a lot of things to who you are as a human being, and so we want to highlight that today. So if you can give
I
us like
appreciate that.
give us a little short version on who you are, that'd be great.
So like you said, I am a hairstylist. I've been that for I'd say 20 years plus. In a building and having my own hair business, I've been doing for the past, I'd say about 12 to 13 years. I'm also a somewhat baker. I have Royal Sweet Treats is my sweets business, so I also do that. I picked that up during the pandemic, fully, I guess you would say. because it was always something that was just there and that I enjoyed doing. But it's actually a business branded now. I'm a mom, of course. That's definitely a part of who I am, a large part of who I am. I'm definitely an advocate for Black youth, Black children in the community as much as I possibly can be. I've been a BSU advisor here at the local, one of the local high schools. So I'm kind of all around with entrepreneurship and with just being an advocate for our people.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I've actually got to experience some of those. I got to experience probably majority of those. I mean, you've done my hair. I've tried your sweet treats. I supported you on the adventures, and so I'm super excited that you continue to do that. And you don't have to. Let's just make that really, like, let's just say that you don't have to do a lot of things that you do, but you do it. And I'm so very
Absolutely.
thankful that you're one of those people out there that give themselves, give them time. Like you said, you have two kids. I mean, that's enough. You know what I mean? That could be
Mhm.
enough
Full
sometimes. And
time
so,
job.
yeah, exactly, 100%.
Definitely.
So for you to give yourself, thank you so much for doing that. We all appreciate that 100%.
I appreciate it. You know what? I It's a love that I have genuinely for the community, for what I do. So when I do it, it's really with ease, and I truly, genuinely just enjoy it. It comes from a very heartfelt place, so I'm always happy to service the community any way that I can.
And the community is Tulare County,
Yes,
Tulare, um,
to be exact. Yep.
to be exact. West Side Tulare, to be really, really exact. Just no, I love Tulare. I
Right,
mean,
but don't get it twisted.
yeah,
I'm providing services clear across the Central Valley. So,
there
but
you
yes,
go.
the community is definitely Tulare County first and foremost.
Sweet. Let's get on to our next one. And the next question that I have for you is, tell us, in your own perspective, what are some things that we need to do to improve our culture? We can
Mm,
start, we don't have to start, let's start in the world around us, changing the
mhm.
world around us. So like in
Absolutely.
your community, right? Right there in
Mhm.
Tulare County area. What are some things that you think that you could do to improve it, or anybody could do? They want to step up.
I'm gonna first say because I think Queen Latifah said it, but said it best. UNITY. I think unity is very important.
Mm,
I think unity outside of your norm, outside of your regular circles, is extremely important. I think that we get into a habit of supporting people that we're comfortable with,
mhm,
people that we're familiar with, and that we've been around all our lives. We form a habit of supporting those people when there are little people, and I'm not going to say, excuse me, I don't mean little people, but people outside of your own given circle, or people that you know and were raised around, that are also looking for the community to help them as well and support them as well. And I think that that's what's most important. I think stepping outside that box and really allowing yourself to be an asset, within other circles, or just with unfamiliar faces. I think is
mm.
very important, and it shows an all around support system for bringing in that unity for sure.
100%. Yeah. Before I give my response to that, everybody hit the click that like button below, share as we're live so other people can see and chime in. You can throw
Absolutely.
your comments down below, and we can see those and read those. That would be awesome as well. But the interaction is always great. We'd love to see
Mhm.
what you guys, what your thoughts are, and in the process of us, talking amongst each other. So,
Right.
yeah. But for me, to improve the culture, I've always said this. I've said this to you. I've said this to multiple people. When your leaders in your community become the mentors in your community, that's where the change is going to be. That's when things
Absolutely.
start. That's where things start to improve in your culture, and that's so good. That's so good. The
Yeah.
leaders,
Absolutely.
the ones that you can put on Facebook that say their Black history, the ones that you can go to when you need help,
Right.
the ones that just all over Tulare, and you see them, they're doing great, they're very, very successful. When those leaders, the
Hmm.
ones that you look up to, become mentors in your community, and they mentor the
Right.
young people on how to be successful,
Hmm.
I believe that's where change comes. No, transformation. Sorry, change. is just like you can change back, right? So
Right, right.
transformation means you can't go back. So that's where
Hmm.
true transformation happens, is when your leaders become mentors in your community. I mean,
Absolutely.
what do you think about that?
I 100% agree. I have some people that I feel like are mentoring me. They may not know it, but they definitely have just given me some insight. It's just as far as bringing the community together. There are a few people, I won't name names on here just because I don't know how they feel about it being on blast without really knowing my personal feelings. But there are a few people within Tulare community that I have felt very supported by with my own businesses, and unfortunately, some have even passed on. But they were huge supporters, great leaders, and great mentors. They really led the way of just showing people what it takes, and I think that that's ultimately where what we need the most. We definitely need those leaders to become more mentors. Definitely.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, let's move on to this next question. For those who are not from the culture, those are not from the culture that are looking, maybe they see themselves looking in or whatnot,
Mhm.
but they want to support. What are some
Absolutely.
ways that they could? But the reason why I asked this question, because even in my own life, I've had sit downs with multiple people.
Hmm.
Um, that wanted to learn and being like, okay, so how can I help? How
Right.
can I help you guys? How can I
Mhm.
understand? I
Right.
want to understand what you guys are going through. I might not be able to feel or be in the position of, but I want to be able
Mhm.
to help and
Right.
move forward from this and the things that are going on in the world.
Right.
What are some ways that you think that people can support or could understand a little bit better of
Mhm.
how to
And
help
I
us?
think absolutely. And I was very appreciative of this question because, like you, I get a lot of people that ask, how can I show up? How can I support? What can I do? I don't want people to see me and think that, I'm racist or I'm anti black or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And my answer is always show up. When you see that there's an event going on in the community that's, not necessarily catering to African Americans or Black people, or maybe it's just like, for an example, Juneteenth event that's coming up in Tulare. I always use those kind of events to tell people that want to show up and want to support to be present, educate
Yeah.
yourself, learn about Juneteenth, so that way, when you're in these settings, you know what's going on. You don't feel lost in a world where it's something's going on around you and you have no idea.
Right.
So I always say show up, shop Black businesses. Don't be afraid, to buy candles from a sister, or, some jewelry or whatever, support Black businesses for sure, because Black businesses, like all the other businesses, are just trying to make it. We're
Right.
just out here trying to make a living, to feed our families, to, some of us are trying to make it bigger than others. But definitely shop small businesses, shop Black businesses for sure.
Mm.
Support Black youth. I think that that's so important because a lot of um a lot of youth in the Black community are from single parent homes, so be a mentor for a Black child, be somebody that they can look up to, somebody that they can go to if they're struggling with something. I think it's very important that we, because obviously us that are in our 30s, or some of us even in our 20s, we're already, time is up. It's now time to cater towards the youth, and show the youth, what even supporting their community is like. And you don't have to be Black to do that. I
Mm.
feel like even if you're a non-ethnic descent, you can show a Black child, hey, this Juneteenth event's happening. Do educate that child if they don't know, what Juneteenth is all about. Take them to the event. Show up and support them if they're there, because I feel like it starts with the youth. It starts showing them how to support their community, showing them, different things that maybe even some of their parents don't know. I'll be honest, I didn't learn about Juneteenth until I was an adult. So, how wonderful it would have been to hear, someone of non-ethnic or non-Black descent say, hey, Juneteenth is coming up. Do you got any plans? Or this is happening, or whatever, what have you.
Right.
How important, as a Black child growing up, I would have felt seeing that or even hearing it.
Mm.
But unfortunately, it doesn't exist. So I always say, show up, support, educate yourself. There's so much information online. There's so much information in books, in regards to just Black culture in general. Get to know a little bit of it, so that way you can show up for a Black child, and you can let them know something that they may not know.
Hmm. That's so
For
good.
sure.
That's so good. I love that.
Mhm.
Let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about
Okay.
your black owned business,
Okay.
or our
Which
black
one?
owned business, or
Right.
or both of our black owned businesses,
Right. Absolutely.
or along with your entrepreneurial experience. I know you started off. You
Mhm.
said with the hair business and things like that. Let's dive into
Mhm.
that. How did you get started? And if have any questions for me, I'm gladly to answer too. Yeah. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So as far as my hair business is concerned, it was not always a passion for me to do hair. First of all, it was something that I knew how to do. I just didn't have the drive there for a very long time. When I got it, I haven't been able to let it go. So I've just really kind of climbed a little bit of a ladder. I went to beauty school. Obviously, I got my license. Um, and at the time, I was living in Fresno, and I felt like Tulare needed me. I felt like Tulare needed more ethnic hairstylists, more people to cater to kinky curly hair.
Mm,
So I decided, even living in Fresno, that I wanted to do hair here and be community, offering my services, and just showing the love and support for ethnic hair here. And so little by little, I grew my clientele. And then I decided to branch off into a product line, which is still growing, still in process. I've had to take a few steps back, but that always means a few steps forward. So I branched off probably, I think it was 2019. I finally got my product line off the ground. So I have a couple of products that I've already dropped. I have, excuse me, my edge and braid tamer. I have a growth serum, and I also have a root stimulator. I'm
mm,
working on a couple of more as we speak, which is why I'm always got my hands in something. But I'm working on
yeah.
a couple more products. And then when COVID hit, that showed me a whole different light. I didn't realize ever in doing hair that I would never be able to work by law. So it opened my eyes in a whole different fashion. So I developed my sweets business. During the pandemic, when I couldn't do hair, I was literally facing fines if I operated without permission. So I had to do something. I had just had a baby, February of 2020, and so I needed to make money. I needed to make money. I knew
Yeah.
I was blessed with a recipe from my grandmother, and all the times that I had made it and either sold it or gave it away, it was always a hit. So I stepped out on faith once again and developed my sweets business. And so that's Royal Sweet Treats. So not it, but I make homemade banana pudding. I make during this time of year, spring, summertime, I do a mixed berry shortcakes. I'm
Mm,
developing
I
and
haven't
getting
tried
into
that one
cookies. I know that's yellow
yet.
for you. I'm thinking about getting into cookies and a couple of other different desserts as well. Still trying to
Sweet.
keep it bearable for me, so I'm not too
Right, right.
overwhelmed with everything. But yeah, so that's my sweets business, and I have been revamping my nonprofit organization that I also started in, I believe it was 2019 or 2018. So I'm revamping that to hopefully get that all together and maybe be something in the community. Try it again and see where the community's heads at with it.
Sweet, sweet. I love it. I love it. Yeah, your
But
journey
yeah,
was
so go ahead.
no, your journey was amazing, where you were and where you're coming from and who you're becoming. Every day I believe that
Absolutely.
you're growing and you're learning and you're just getting better all the time. And the fact that you're in a place of being receptive and being coachable, I think that's what's
Mhm.
going to take you, even further than what most people. A lot of people don't like to be coached,
Right.
and that could be stemmed from childhood stuff or whatever it could be,
Mhm.
but it really doesn't matter when it comes to business. If you want to
Right.
learn, you want to grow, you gotta be the dumbest person in the room always.
Yeah, for
And then when
sure.
and
For
then when
sure.
you're the smartest person in that room, you gotta get out of that room and get into another room where you're dumb again, or
Right. Right.
same thing. Another analogy I use is be the brokest person in the room, and then
Hmm.
and be in a room full of whatever you want to be. If you want to make $100,000 a year, be in a room full of $100,000 a year type people. And then
Absolutely.
once you get to a level of making $100,000 a year consecutively, multiple years, get yourself out of that
Hmm.
room and hang around with people that make $1.2 million a year,
Hmm.
and start doing that consecutively. As you
Right.
start putting yourself in these rooms, you start leveling up.
Hmm.
A lot of people have said this too. I don't know if it's true or not, but they say another life hack is moving out of your hometown, getting in a
Hmm.
place where you're not, no longer in the place that you live in, in the comfortability. And I can see that because I believe
Yeah.
that, on my religious portion of my life, I believe that God only moves in the uncomfortable. He doesn't move
Right.
in the comfortable. And
Hmm.
that can go in business too. Once you start settling and getting comfortable, you're never going to level up. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
times, and even in entrepreneurship, there's a lot of
Hmm.
highs and lows. There's no in between. This is not 9 to 5, you clock in and clock out. Now
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying in
Mhm.
entrepreneurship it's a whole different ball game. There's
Whole
big
different ballgame.
losses. Yeah, there's big losses and big gains. There's small wins and small losses. It's a different ball game. So,
Yeah.
you know I'm proud of you.
Yes, that's the truth. Thank you. I appreciate it because I will say, like you said, it is a completely different ball game.
Yeah,
When I left my 8 to 5 job, I had no idea that I would be working sometimes 18 hours a day.
man.
You
Right.
think, oh, I'm just going to work a 9 to 5 or I'm just going to put in my 8 hours and be done. But in entrepreneurship, it really just never works out that way at all, especially
At
when
all.
you're working on two different or multiple businesses. There seems to always be something to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
So those
For
who
sure.
don't know who I am, and don't know what I do, and you think that probably podcast is all I do. Um,
Absolutely not.
let me run you down a little bit on where I've been and where I'm going. Actually, there's some new things
Hmm.
popping up too. Always, as I share with Nikki, most of my adventures, she knows. But I started in 2014 with Blackwater there in the Central Valley. Started to learn and grow and mold and learning to be an entrepreneur. Then I took my adventure 4 years later or 5 years later, October 2019, to here to Las Vegas, Nevada, to start my own water, which I did that and was sort of successful. I was highlighted in a magazine, top 40 under 40, a couple awards, things like that, for pushing that. Then pandemic hit, just like everybody else. Everybody lost a lot of money, and a lot of people had to start over. I wasn't one of those people who had to start over. I'm the type of person, just like Nikki, figure it out. So I
For
did. I,
sure.
I went and I knew a lot about e-commerce and Shopify and how to sell online and know all the tips and tricks and things like that. And so I started selling Kobe stuff when Kobe passed away. And so that's how I gained all my money back. And
Smart move.
yeah, and started doing that. And I'm still brewing and trying to get my wine out and getting that stuff going. But as I started to progress in 2020, I ran into an individual. His name is Juan, who does construction. We started renovating one of my one of our churches. How I was helped doing renovating one of our churches and getting into construction and doing that. I loved it so much that we took it outsourced and we started doing stuff outside of that. And I still currently do some things like that, where we fix and flip, and whether if it's commercial, residential. Also, still writing a book, trying to finish my book. I got my hands in so much, man. Just trying to get it going.
I love it.
But
I
a lot of
love it.
my time, yeah, a lot of my time, 80% of my time is going into this. My social media marketing. It's called Mogul Digital Design. You can follow us on Instagram. It's we highlight models and getting models to model for businesses that don't have models to wear their clothes and show their clothes off and showcase their stuff. I help do businesses, help businesses grow from the bottom all the way to the top. And have a buddy named Matt. You guys will meet him. We came together with this idea about a year ago, and we're now living out this dream, and it's crazy. I've done multiple businesses, turning them into $1 million businesses real quick by using our method, and it's a 7 level method. And I sent you a sample, I believe, of the first
Mhm,
level,
mhm.
right? And
Yep.
hopefully you enjoyed that, but I have a whole
Yes.
seven layer thing that I'm going to be able to give. But moving forward, I'm also going back to school this August or September to become a professor. My goal is to be
Beautiful.
professor in business and be able to teach young people how to be entrepreneurs, the tricks of the rich, 5 keys to money mastery, which we will get into later. You guys will have some of my mentors, some of my people that showed me all this. You guys will get all those tips and tricks too. But that was it. I'm looking to do that and really grind and give back to the community as well as much as I can, and to our young people, and kind of take the baton. And because the baton was never given to us, so I believe that it's
Right.
time for us, that is young adults, to take it and start teaching our young ones how to become entrepreneurs if they choose to, entrepreneurs if they want to.
Absolutely.
And if a trade school, don't leave out trade schools. I mean, they make just as
Absolutely
much
not.
money. So
Absolutely not.
yeah,
Right.
but
Trade
but
schools are a wonderful thing.
yeah,
They
so
really
yeah,
are.
I love it. Last question, and then we're out of here. We have like 3 more minutes for you guys. But in these 3 minutes, I want you to tell us about your organization that you're starting up and how it's effective, how it's going to shape this new generation. I'm super excited for you to be rolling this out. I'm going to be a part of this as much as I can.
Yay.
And yeah, give us a little insight, just a small little 1 minute, two
Little
minute.
snippet.
Yeah, a little snippet, and as
I
you
will
get
try.
progressing, then we can share
Right.
more and more. But give us the whole
Absolutely.
vision of it.
So the organization is called Black Students and Parents United. I believe that is as long as our students and parents are on one accord, can bring back bring black excellence to the forefront. We can bring black experiences to the forefront. I'm really trying to take I don't know how many people remember or even associate with kids that they have right now as far as the Avid program, but I'm trying to do a community-based program similar to Avid, that also involves the parents, because let's keep it real. You can go to college until you're what, like forever you're old. So I feel like even I feel like even parents, could really get in on someone so much at the age of 30, between 30 and 35, as far as education is concerned. I didn't have kids at the time of me learning a lot of this information, so I truly feel like if we involve the parents who also are probably like me and have no idea, I think that it'll even encourage a lot of parents to want to be a part of Black excellence themselves. So it's
Ooh,
basically it's just a program that I want to launch off to really just get Black parents and students on one accord. I mean, I get it that a lot of students are, from single homes, single families, but hey, if we can get great parent co-parenting going on and everybody show up for the kid, and who knows where it may take off for the adults. So I,
mm,
I truly believe that it could be a winner, and just being an advocate, just showing up. Again, a lot of it is about showing up,
yeah,
advocating for your kid or someone else's kid. We don't know a lot of situations that are happening at home, but I believe in advocating for any kid.
yeah,
So even if a parent is at work and they're working at 16, and kid needs to be picked up from school or whatever, I feel like this program will allow us to grow our villages so much more than just our comfort and just what we know and what we're used to. I think that if we all come together and we all work together, it's for the betterment of the youth for sure.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait
I
to
know, I'm
all
so
the great
excited.
things. Yeah, super excited about that. But that's it, you guys.
Definitely.
That's it for us today. But I do want you guys to do something for me. Okay. As I keep on bringing you guys content, if you guys have any questions at all, it could be anything about the culture, anything about the segment, anything maybe we didn't talk about that you want us to talk about, put it in the comments
Absolutely.
section. We'll both go and we'll answer as many questions as we can. And we'll be able to create, some momentum there, and so that there's a greater understanding on what position that we're all taking and where we're all going. And if you want to know more about her organization and how you can get involved, put it in the comments section, and she'll gladly reach
Please,
out.
please do.
Yeah, she needs all the help, every all hands
Absolutely.
on deck, to help her
Mhm.
push this new thing that she has going on. And it's going to be an amazing
Yeah, for
thing. It's
sure.
going to be beneficial for everyone. And I'm super excited for that. The other thing that you could do is throw a like and also share. So this way everybody can see this
Absolutely.
video and be able to be a part of this conversation as well, and nobody is left out. Okay, but that's it for me. This
Nobody's left behind.
Nobody's left behind. That's it for me and Letitia. That's it for me and Nikki. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Again, this is the Mogul Podcast. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. And I'm going to leave you with these three things, and these three things I always leave you with. I love you, I believe in you, and let's go make a difference.